Just a super quick video as a warning if you are currently trading with leverage to be very careful because of the following. You can see here on this chart, the Bitcoin open interest across all exchanges hits a new all-time high of $20 billion. This means that there are more and more people, actually a record level of people, betting on the direction of Bitcoin with leverage. You can see on this chart, in black is the price of Bitcoin in US dollars, and in purple is the amount of open interest. Now you can see how the peak of that open interest in the purple back in 2021 over here lined up with the peak of the market. Over here it made a higher high, it lined up with the peak of the market. Then again in March we made a peak, a new all-time high in open interest. It was the peak of Bitcoin, and now we are even at a higher level of open interest, meaning even more people are betting on Bitcoin with leverage. Now, this is non-directional, of course, so the amount of leverage in the system does not tell you which direction they're betting on. But in my opinion, it is much more likely that these people are betting for a breakout to the upside and a continuation, so they are probably long. So there's probably more people betting long than there are people betting short, which means if that is the case, then we might be seeing a potential flash crash scenario ahead of us where when everyone is maximum long betting for an upside breakout, that the price just dumps thousands of dollars, $5,000 to $10,000, and liquidates everybody. So this is just a warning. I don't know if it's going to play out that way, but when you see stuff like this, you look at the data, you look at what has happened previously, and you ask yourself, well, what should I be doing in this case? And of course, you know, if you're trading responsibly and you're managing your risk and you're risking only 1 or 2% of your trading account, it doesn't matter. If you, worst case, you get stopped out. But I want to put this out here as a warning that you should be very careful that in the case of a flash crash, if the markets drop very quickly, very deep in a short period of time, your stops may not execute at the levels you put them in. So you want to be very sure that the amount of risk that you have is capped and limited. That you know, worst case, if Bitcoin drops by $5,000 in the next 5 minutes, that you're not going to wipe out your whole account. That is why I'm making this video real quick. I want to warn everybody to be careful with leverage. Feel free to trade. As always, 1 or 2% is never a big deal. You get stopped out, no problem. But just make sure you don't bet too big on leverage that you get wiped out in your whole account. You can see here, same thing, just different charts, same data. Bitcoin futures open interest hits a new all-time high, and you can see the previous all-time high was right here when Bitcoin peaked, when it hit that all-time high in March earlier this year. And you know what happened? We went from 74,000 all the way down to 50,000 over the months that followed. Now, I'm not saying we're going to crash here, but this is, in my opinion, definitely a warning sign to be careful with leverage, especially longs, because everyone is currently hoping for that breakout. And while I hope we get it, while I hope all this OI, these bets are all short-based and we just pump to the moon to liquidate all the bears, unfortunately, I think it's more likely to be people betting with longs, hoping for that breakout. And if that fails and we get a flash crash to the downside, that's going to be a lot of pain for leverage long. So whatever you do, just make sure your risk is managed. I just wanted to bring this out here as a warning, and let's see how things develop. I'll be back with a regular market update tomorrow.